Mr. President, we're talking about a lot of issues on the floor here in the Senate as we go through this election year that might be considered political. I want to talk about one today that's both urgent and transcends party lines, and it's a humanitarian crisis, and we're seeing it in Africa, in the Democratic Republic of Congo. In September of last year, the Congo informed the United States that they would no longer issue exit visas, exit permits, for Congolese children who are in the process of being adopted by American parents. These are kids that have already gone through the adoption process, and yet the government of Congo says they can't leave the country. This is a terrible precedent, terrible unjustifiable action, and it's left hundreds of children and their new families here in the United States in limbo. Last Friday, the Congolese government announced an end to exit permit exceptions until the country passes what they deem are new adoption laws. So I stand here today to express the deep concern and commitment to resolve this crisis from so many of us here in the Senate. We have over 50 co-sponsors of a resolution calling on the Congo to do the right thing. Those of us who have co-sponsored this are looking for a way to help these children who have already been adopted to be able to be reunited with their families permanently. More than 350 families have finalized adoptions of Congolese children. They've all obtained the necessary U.S. approvals, including the U.S. visas authorizing the children to immigrate to the United States. 400 additional families were in the process of completing adoptions at the time the Congo imposed this moratorium. In every way that matters, including in what they feel in their hearts, these are their children. All told, more than 800 children are caught in this diplomatic nightmare. By the way, that's about 10% of total adoptions worldwide by American families last year. These are international adoptions, so it's a significant number. Many of these kids have special needs, and those needs are now not being met, and until they are able to come with their families, they won't be met. And in fact, some lives are being put at risk. In fact, 6 of these children have already died. I had the opportunity to meet with some of the parents of some of these children and see some of the photos and hear some of the stories, and it is one of these issues where if the Congolese government would simply do the right thing and allow these exit permits, lives would be saved. We can't remain silent in the face of this tragedy. Together with Senator Landrieu of Louisiana, again, I have a resolution calling on the administration to take action and demand that the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo resume processing these adoption cases, permitting these kids to leave, and prioritize the processing of intercountry adoptions that were initiated before the suspension began. I want to thank Senator Landrieu for all of her hard work on this, as well as, again, more than 50 of our colleagues now from both sides of the aisle who have joined us. In my meetings with a number of families from Ohio last week, again, we had the opportunity to talk about some of these kids and some of their specific circumstances, and also about what these families are ready to do. And they're ready to give these kids the support they need and the love they need. I met with the Millimans from Columbus, Ohio. They're adopting a little girl who has very serious medical conditions. They're in the final stages of the adoption process, and they fear they're not going to be able to provide her the treatment and care she needs. I also met with the Webb family. The Webbs are in the process of adopting a child from the Congo to bring home to their home in Worcester, Ohio. And the Webbs' biological daughter, Heather, is also in the process of adopting from the Congo. They were both here in the Capitol to talk about their kids and talk about what they've been through. These families represent the very best of our country, of our values, a respect for these young people's lives, a commitment to live with humility, prioritizing the needs of these most vulnerable children. This diplomatic impasse is keeping these families apart. It's time the administration joined with Congress to support the families and the children involved in this crisis in every way possible. In the coming days, I hope we will speak with one voice and demand that Congo reverse their decision and process these adoptions as quickly as possible. My sense, Mr. President, is that it's possible that this could be an issue that will come up in committee this week, and if not before the session is out, we would be able to take this to the floor of the Senate and pass it and begin to put some pressure on the Congolese government to do the right thing. It's time to allow these children to be with their loving families. With that, I yield back my time, Mr. President.